Today, I'm going to share with you some key things that you can do to improve your mental, your emotional, and your physical health. Now, let's start with physical health because I think that's probably the easiest. Obviously, we need to eat right. Our bodies are machines. Get to know your body and figure out what works for you and what doesn't. But ultimately, the idea is to eat clean. Outside of that, you're going to exercise. And for men, you need to lift weights. You're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to be more attractive to other people. Now, that's not the reason you should do it, but that's a great ancillary benefit. But I'm telling you, if you can lift 2, 3, 4, 5 days per week, you're going to drastically and radically improve your aesthetic, but you're also, more importantly, going to improve your overall physical health. Outside of that, things that we know about: getting the proper amount of sleep. When I get 7+ hours of sleep versus when I get 4 to 5. But I'm telling you, I'm that much more effective and efficient if I get that 7 hours. I want you to go get your blood work done. Now, obviously, do this under the direction of a qualified medical practitioner. Look at your vitamin levels. Testosterone is a big one. My testosterone levels used to be in the mid 200s. Obviously, that was an issue. A lot of that had to do with my sedentary lifestyle, also with drinking, and you should work on those things. And what are those things? Eating correctly, specifically protein. Competing with other men is scientifically proven, and not just competing, but winning against other men is scientifically proven to boost testosterone levels. Having sex, there's things that you can do. Engaging in activities that I would call manly activities. So this is jujitsu and wrestling and shooting firearms and going camping and exploring nature and building things. This also boosts testosterone naturally. Let's go to the mental health. This one's tough. Usually what I talk about is mental fortitude and strength and resiliency. I've seen grown men crumble at the slightest sign of adversity. Everything is hard. Everything is difficult. They play the victim card way more than they ought to, which is anytime you play it is way more than you ought to. And these are what I would call mental midgets. The best thing that you can do is the thing that you don't want to do. Maybe you don't want to go to the gym. Maybe you don't want to push through a hard workout. Well, then that's exactly what you should do. Or even if you don't have those conscious thoughts, but you're procrastinating doing that thing, then that's the exact thing that you should do. Just because you go do something doesn't mean that you're obligated to do it forever. But I'm going to challenge you this week. I want you to make a list of all the things that you've been procrastinating about and then come up with a plan to do them. Let's talk about this third component of the trifecta of men's health. That is your emotional well-being. Most men believe, whether consciously or subconsciously, that they ought to just stuff their emotions down. They ought to be quote unquote stoic. And there's a definite misinterpretation of what stoicism is. And by the way, I don't believe that there's any negative emotion. There's no emotion that you could convince me that is negative. If I'm angry and I decide to punch a hole in the wall because one of my people isn't doing what I think they should be doing, and so I punch a hole in the wall, it's not the anger that's the problem. It's my response to the anger. It's me punching a hole in the wall. If we take that same scenario and I'm angry that one of my people isn't doing what I think they should be doing, and I'm upset about it, I'm angry about it, and instead I decide to, instead of punch a hole in the wall, go talk to that person about what I expect of them and what they can expect of me and what the standard is, and then they improve. Well, wouldn't you agree that that's an appropriate use of the anger? What I would suggest to you is to be very aware of your emotions. Number one is journaling. When I'm feeling a certain way and I can feel my blood boiling or I can feel something festering, I write it down. Number two is I give myself space. I know that if I am emotional, that I will make dumb decisions. And then the third component of this is therapy. There is one thing I really like about my therapist, and that is that he drives me to action. But remember, when it comes to this third component of the trifecta of men's health, we're not going to subdue it. We're not going to hide it. It's going to come up and rear its ugly head at some point. So you might as well address it now when it's manageable. It's like a baby dragon. If you have to kill a baby dragon or a baby lion and you have to kill that thing, it's best to kill it when it's small because it's going to become a real nuisance really quickly if you let that thing get bigger and get claws and teeth and strength. Deal with it now.